the mid-20s there. She's like 25.
Is she?
Yeah. She just started so young that you have that Olsen twins thing.
I think that's a problem.
You gotta erase.
Yeah, I know. Well, in the unlikely event that Taylor Swift wants to have sex with me, I'll work on that mental blockage then. But until then, I'll just stick with saying I never noticed her legs being anything to write home about. I don't know. But allegedly, she's getting them insured for $40 million. I think the meetings with the insurance companies were going well until Kanye suddenly interrupted to say that Beyonce's legs were the greatest legs of all time. What else?
The next season of The Bachelorette will feature 2 girls.
Sadly, the rest of that sentence isn't "and 1 cup." Now funk everything. Yeah. Go on.
42% of people say they want to see Brian Williams back on television.
Yeah, keep in mind, though, those people are probably liars, too, that feel strangely mitigated by the fact that, he lies and, has a job on TV. I still can't get over the fact that Brian Williams is being suspended for 6 months, and they're calling it punishment. It's like those news jobs, like I think one of the look, anybody that gets to be on TV and makes $10 million a year has no right to complain about anything. Anybody that does anything and gets the amount of money that late-night talk show hosts get or news folks like Brian Williams get, you don't have a right to complain. But nevertheless, no matter how much money you're making, you do something often enough, and there's going to be parts of it that's sour to you. And I think the thing that is the most mind-numbing part of any job in the media is that it just doesn't stop. Every single day, you got to get up and make the donuts. Funkhauser, would you agree with me on this one?
Oh, yeah, big old donuts.
Yeah, like if you're involved in something like that, it's just like, if you can't be sick, you can't take a night off, you can't phone it in. You have to go out there and be the best you can every single day. And if you're an athlete, you got to go out and be the best you can a couple times a week when you play games on the weekend or what have you. But for someone like Brian Williams, the pressure is immense because lots of people make lots of money off of this, and that means you employ lots of people, and they all have jobs and livelihoods, and you have to go out and be awesome every single day. No matter how you're being fiscally rewarded for that, that's going to grind someone down. So the idea that Brian Williams is getting 6 months off without pay, well, that means his yearly salary goes to $5 million instead of $10 million. That's Brian Williams' punishment.
You think he can survive this, or you think he should, be the next Daily Show host?
Well, a lot of people seem to think that he wants to be the next Daily Show host. And there's also been suggestions that Jon Stewart's going to take over the NBC Nightly News.
Here's switcheroo.
The old switcheroo. The problem with Brian Williams is he's not funny. Like, he can be funny. He has moments, but Jon Stewart's a brilliant comedian and an actor, too. Let's not forget that. Like, he's acted in legitimate movies, and I think he was actually pretty good in a couple of them. What was that movie with him and Sean Connery and Angelina Jolie back in the day? And do you remember that?
I just remember he was in the movie with Dave Chappelle and the guy on the couch. Oh, man, what's it called?
Half-Baked?
Yeah.
He was in Half-Baked? I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
So, go on.
He was like a buyer. It's like, have you ever watched this movie? Have you ever watched this movie on weed?
But I think,
he's a good actor.
He's a comedian. Oh, yeah, no, he's a good actor, and he's a comedian. I don't know if Brian Williams has the comedic chops to do something like that. Apparently, everyone's saying Tina Fey is a front runner for that particular gig. I don't know if Tina Fey would want to do that.
Yeah, that's that's a price cut for her, I think.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need the money. Tina Fey doesn't need the money, and also she's got a couple kids now, and the idea of going into something like The Daily Show, it's like it's similar to what Brian Williams is doing. It's a treadmill. And I think a big part of the reason why Jon Stewart was bailing on it was because he was like, hey, I'm actually now starting to miss significant chunks of my kids' childhood, and lots of working fathers have that, but I have the option not to, and that was important to him. But it is an exhausting treadmill to be on any kind of sort of like late night talk show or daily show, if you will. You know who has it lucky? This jammy son of a bitch. I have to think that Jon Stewart must be like, oh, F you, John Oliver, F you. Like, as much as they're tight and buddies and he wants to see his friends do well and people that come from The Daily Show to do well, like Steve Carell started out on The Daily Show and now John Oliver is breaking pretty big. And, you know, the thing about John Oliver's show, have you seen it? It's this week or what?
Last week tonight.
Last week tonight. It's basically The Daily Show, but a weekly wrap-up. It's essentially like an extended version of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, but a little bit more serious. And it's just like he has to go do one show a week, just one show a week, and it's essentially a ripoff of The Daily Show format. You know, Jon Stewart must be like, one show a week, F you. He gets to have a life, and he gets to have a show, and he gets to have, you know, the money that goes with it, and work for HBO. That's got to chap his hide. One more quick piece of news.
An LA jury found that Pharrell Williams and Robin Thicke copied Marvin Gaye's song on Blurred Lines. They have to pay Gaye's family $7.4 million.
I'm guessing Pharrell was not happy with the verdict. So stupid.
You're waiting to get washed away. Time won't stop, but I'll stop time to run away and make you mine. I'll take you where you wanna be. I'll make you love me so you'll see. Just wanna be washed away sometimes. I wanna be washed away sometimes. Just wanna be washed away sometimes. I wanna be washed away sometimes. Flowers for your hair. Just wanna be washed away sometimes. I wanna be washed away sometimes. Just wanna be washed away sometimes. I wanna be washed away sometimes.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah.
All right, Fuckhauser, let's roll through the... do we have time to finish up? Yeah, let's do a couple more pieces of news.
I will read my way through this.
All right.
Hillary Clinton spoke for the first time yesterday about using a private email account when she was Secretary of State.
She now realizes she should have just used two phones. Like Bill had been doing for years. Go on.
New York City has voted to continue the ban of ferrets.
So tough news for insufferable hipsters who will now have to find something else to put on their shoulder when they want to seem cool and edgy. Too bad, so sad. I'm sorry. I wonder what that does to people that already have the ferrets, though. Like, I got this ferret pre-ban. What do? Give up your furry companion? I have no desire to ever own a ferret, but I can understand how people... Yeah, and people can build a bond with any animal. If it's warm and it's fuzzy and it has a heartbeat, I defy you to live in the same space as it for a couple of weeks and not develop love for it. So, I don't know. Like, on the one hand, ferrets are stupid to walk around with on your shoulder, and that's absolutely a pose. And you shouldn't be getting an animal because you want to be a poser. But on the other hand, you might have started off a poser, but you probably have feelings about that ferret. He's probably your little buddy, or she's probably your little buddy. And I don't know, does this mean they take ferrets away from people? That would suck.
Well, I think if you live in New York City and you own a ferret, you already live off the grid anyway.
Yeah,
probably.
True. I mean, I guess the downside is you won't be able to take your ferret out. Like, what the hell are you thinking?
No more walks.
If you're taking your ferret out.
Got to stay indoors, Elmo. That's what I would name my ferret, I think.
That's a good name for a ferret. I like that. If I was the type of insufferable tool that was going to own a ferret, that'd be what I'd call it. Go on.
Gun ownership rates in the U.S. have hit a record low.
Yeah, I saw that. It's troubling because, if there's one thing America desperately needs, it's more guns.
Yeah, more guns. More guns with my coffee in the morning.
Well, I hadn't really been following this. I hadn't really been following the financial side of the gun debate, but there's big money in guns. Like, there is. And if gun ownership rates are at an all-time low, that could explain a lot of, like, the open carry morons being persuaded to do that sort of thing by various gun manufacturer-owned public interest groups. Public interest groups that are owned surreptitiously by gun manufacturers that encourage hillbillies to walk into Starbucks with rifles on their back because they can. Open carry. Oh, well. Too bad. So sad. I'm sorry. The gun industry will just have to manage as best they can. What else?
The CIA has been trying to crack iPhone security since 2005.
Yeah, I saw that. That's right. The agency in charge of national security has been stumped by a 4-digit code for a decade. Sleep well, America.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4? No.
Yeah, no.
4, 3, 2, 1? No.
No. It's like Stewie trying to call home when he can't remember his phone number on Family Guy. 111-1111. No. Blast. 111-1112. No. Blast. 8675309. No. Damn you, Tommy Two-Tone. Anyways, go on.
An Ohio man called 911 to report his wife stole his cocaine.
Oh, stupid thing to do. Get married.
Yeah,
all right, one last piece of news.
A man invented a talking girlfriend pillow.
Perfect for hugging, cuddling, and making others very, very concerned about your well-being. All right, we'll get to the rest of the news at some other point in the proceedings, perhaps tomorrow. So this is why Ted Cruz is dead to me, unless he divorces himself from the puerile, hateful, psychotic, moronic ramblings of his fanatical, homophobic, fascist, scary-ass, awful scumbag of a father. The father of Senator Ted Cruz, who a lot of people have eyes on for the presidency next time around. The father of Senator Ted Cruz. And I think it's interesting as we run up to the election to check in with with various presidential hopefuls and take stock of them and see which boxes they check in terms of fulfilling our needs and see which boxes they check in terms of being deemed a scary a-hole. And I don't think Ted Cruz is a scary a-hole. His father, though. I'll give you an example. He gave a speech to a Second Amendment advocacy group a while back. Second Amendment, gun folks. And what a religious speaker has to do with the Second Amendment is kind of sort of beyond me. Separation of church and state. But no, okay. Anyways, his argument was that atheism leads to sexual abuse and perversion. Atheism, secular humanism, and he argued this to a gun group, leads to sexual abuse and perversion. I remember when he did this. His argument was something like, if there's nothing... Well, hold on. Let me not say it was something like... Let me find the exact quote here. All right, yep. He said, if there is nothing, if there is no God, then we are ruled by our instincts. There is no moral absolute, which means we operate by situational